Alright kids, let's go! Game number 1, best of 5 series, Division S Europe. We're back at it again, and we have Disgusting against pepeMLady today. Rank 6 against rank 7 in the standings currently. I think we're in playday number 4 by now, and yeah, it should be an interesting match because for both of the teams, there's quite a little bit on the line. If you are all the way down at the bottom of the standings, you're of course in danger that you're going to drop out of the league for the next season. You want to at least establish a place somewhere in the middle of the pack, maybe claim to rank 5, rank 4 if you can. So they need to make sure that they're winning this one today, or it's going to be a bit of a bleak future for whoever loses out on this one. So let's have a little bit of a look at this. What do we get? This is of course on the newest patch, which also means that there might still be some adjustments in terms of Reyna and other heroes. Deathwing, as you can see, is still banned out. So even after Blizzard just keeps banning and banning and, nerfing him, Europe still says like, nope, not happening. Only region where that guy is currently being played is North America. And so far, we also have the ban on Junkrat. For Infernal Shrines, it makes a lot of sense. Good poke from the outside, obviously. So that's always a nice tool to have. Then let's get the show on the road and see what else we're gonna get here. For now, the ban on Diablo. Another hero that I'm still interested in is Mal'Ganis. Again, he got nerfed a little bit on several accounts. Hit points, survivability just in general, and also the damage on the ult a bit. But just generally speaking, those things added up can definitely now push him back in the priority list slightly. I still think we're going to see him, but I would really be surprised if we see him with the same frequency that we did before, at least across the board through all the teams. Now with ETC being banned, we have definitely a focus on the frontliners, but ETC also quite strong on the map. Gore Rider though, with an insta-pick on Vala. Not hesitating for a second. Immediately just like, no, Vala's mine. Get something else, dude. So, with Vala already taken, what is Disgusting going to pull off today? What are they going to try and set up here? Johanna is still up for wave clear, so if you want to look at the early frontline pick, then they could definitely try and get her first. But it is Li Ming and Ana. Still a bit surprising to see Li Ming again with this priority on Infernal Shrines. We talked about her a few times. It's I think the 3rd time in 2020 that we now see her picked on this level in Division S on this map, and I think she has a 1-1 track record currently on Infernal Shrines, at least on a Division S level of play. But there's a Johanna pick, and I'm really surprised that Disgusting didn't pick that away and prioritized Li Ming. That surprises me more than anything else. Doesn't mean that you can't pick the hero here, but the chances that your opponent is really going to contest that pick on this map are pretty slim. So if you want to go for that, you can probably pick that a bit later. And I personally think it was kind of obvious that Oriel would be a pick on the red team side. So from the draft perspective, that was a little bit of a weird one. Here comes the Zarya ban, which I actually don't really dislike at all, because Zarya has been played with some of these combos already quite a lot, and Vala support of Zarya together with Oriel can be pretty nasty to play around. Now, Johanna, I'd say she has her iron skin anyway, so I don't necessarily think you need it there. With Garrosh, would of course even be more utility to that, but yeah, Zarya pick is definitely a decent one. The shields can screw with you quite a lot, so let's see what gets banned on the other side. Garrosh gets banned out, and I want to see if we're maybe getting from Disgusting even a second mage. We've seen it now once, and if you're already going to Li Ming, I mean, they have of course other options here too, but there's still an option that we could see something like this again, where you just try and just blow targets up as quickly as you can, maybe get a bit more done here. But yeah, let's see. Mal'Ganis, talked about him earlier, and there's also Blaze. More wave clear, good for the rotations, has bunker. Great for taking a position on the shrine for those fights. But we still need another damage dealer from them. And for the opponent, of course, now also the question what are we going to get for pepeMLady in terms of the offlane. Leo is up as just one example. If you go for a triple front line, you can even a little bit nastier with that, which isn't really out of the question considering that they're playing with Vala here. Could even see the second support coming. And they're the team that likes Uther, even after the bans. But there's the Leo pick and Hanzo together with it. Okay, last pick. Itrax, last one to go. And, well, let's see what they are going to lock in as the second damage dealer. Because it definitely needs something that's a little bit more reliable than Li Ming. And usually auto attackers fit that build quite nicely. Unless you want to go into that double mage style that we've just seen. Was it? I think it was like a couple of days ago. At the weekend, actually. And, well, off we go. Jaina, double mage, there we go. Jaina for the wave clear, and, well, that's it. Disgusting versus pepeMLady. Game number 1, Infernal Shrines. Let's jump in and see which team takes the lead here. Game on! Yep, we have Infernal Shrines. Disgusting against pepeMLady. On the left side, Lavakal on Liming for Disgusting. We have Sartuas on Blaze. We're currently looking at good old Birch on Mal'Ganis. We have Itrex on Jaina. And as you can already tell, Rutek is going to play Ana here in an attempt to help out a little bit more with that slight setup, just an nano boost. I mean, he has 2 mages really as examples that he can use here in these situations, so we'll see what exactly he's going to do with this. At the same time now, when you're looking over to it, we have Dylon Oriel, Rich on Leoric, the Will Q on Johanna, Cesabos on Hanzo, and Vala, played by Gore Rider with a multi-shot build, already starting that up right here. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look how this whole thing is going to work out for them. Now, of course, as I mentioned the patch earlier, we're mostly looking at heroes that were a little bit buffed and how their priorities rise. But let's not forget that also Oriel has been nerfed a little bit. So she has actually been hit by the nerf hammer just slightly. So general damage reduction is pretty much what happened mostly. First of all, on her Q, the Sacred Sweep, auto attacks the same is also true. And Resurrect was just a little bit too strong for Blizzard, so they increased the cooldown from 80 to 100 seconds and have a bit more of a delay now on the Resurrect as well. Which is actually kind of nice because, again, some teams used Resurrect very aggressively, trying to YOLO the damage dealer into the opponent's team, and then aggressively play around the cooldown of Resurrect to get the hero just for a trade. Like, pretty much trade 1 for 1 and then resurrect the hero to turn the fight into a 5 versus 4. Washed Up has done that once or twice, and with good success here. But just generally speaking, it can be quite powerful. But even with those small adjustments, it doesn't mean that Oriel is by any means useless or not really good enough to have a huge impact here. And especially the combo with Vala is, of course, very, very powerful. And still something that they can now utilize in this game. Whereas at the same time, we still have our little rotations here. The camps are currently taken from both teams on the left and the right side, but down to the bottom of the map, the final camp, the third one, that's the one where the 2 teams now meet and try and decide who takes the upper hand in the early stages of the game. And so far, it seems that, oh my god, Will Q locks it in. I actually really thought the Disgusting was trying to contest this, but now they moved away from the camp and it got claimed, and then we have the kill against Blaze. That backfired a little bit. It feels like everybody was just assuming that someone else would try and contest the point, and then when they started to lose it and realized they couldn't take it anymore, that they wanted to just move out, and that didn't work either. So now we have 1 kill against 0, an early lead in experience for pepeMLady, and the double mage setup at this point unsuccessful. And double mage is, of course, still very, very rare. It's something that most teams don't really try to play. It's just not... You always want to have a little bit of sustainable damage. It can come through a triple frontline, it can come through a side laner that dishes out decent damage. You can do that with an auto attacker like Vala, Jimmy, a couple of others, of course. So very rarely do you see a double mage setup. But we have seen one just recently on this map too. Because when you play around those cooldowns, you have of course a lot of burst damage that you can utilize to take a target down pretty quickly, and it also offers you usually wave clear that allows you to get the objective quicker on the objective itself, and that kinda helps. So if you get those minion stacks, that's kinda nice. So a few teams have started to dabble a little bit again in that double mage setup, but generally speaking, you wanna stay away from that. But let's see if it's going to be successful for the blue team as well. Because Disgusting is currently falling pretty hard behind on the first objective. They're now down by more than 20 minion stacks. And this is bad news for them. If they don't get a kill or 2 pretty soon, then they're going to lose out on the first Punisher. That's already certain. Yeah, and with 33 now taken and Vala just getting 1 multi-shot in after another, I don't think there's a chance. The Sacred Sweep obviously adds a bit more wave clear. Then you have Leo 2 trying to clean up the trash. But Go Rider's pretty low. The Punisher gets taken by the red team as predicted, but Oriel falls. And there's no counter kill. Yeah, they were trying to get some action here up at the top. Everybody is low, but here comes Hanzo. Yes, the double kill as the front line gets destroyed. Lavakal very likely going to get away on his Liming. But Blaze gets Hanzo'd, and, well, good old Mal'Ganis gets the mob to the face. So now, since nobody baited the Punisher over at the bottom of the map, you can already guess what's happening here. There's very little that they can do on the defense. They already lost the entire front wall, and nobody is going to have a chance to move in for this one. Lavakal is still riding that golden snowflake of his, and I gotta say, I said it before and I say it again, that pretty much means that you ride a snowflake that has been peed on. When was the last time that you saw golden snow, huh? Exactly. So I'm not quite sure if I really would opt for that color. No matter what he rides, though, they are falling behind because now they are down 2 kills. And on top of that, they just lost that fort. But, well, the red team with that lead in levels is also taking another camp now. And is putting some serious pressure on the fountain in the middle and on the wall. So that's already down. And here's it again. The golden snowflake. It's just like, it's a little bit disgusting. And then, well, I mean, it's fitting. That's literally the team name. So I finally figured out why exactly they chose that. If everybody would write the golden snowflake. I mean, it's pretty much golden shower style that we have right now. The Donald can speak to that. I personally don't have any experience with this, but, well, maybe Lavakal can explain a little bit more on that end. Either way, now that we have that sorted out, let's look at a bit at our talent choices on level 7. We have first of all Calamity, of course, in. On top of this, the multi-shot build continues. And this is going to allow Vala now to get even more pressure on the objective. Honestly, Vala multi-shot build is just insane on this map. It's so fantastic. It's a great setup to have whenever you're fighting. You get hero damage out, you work on the objective at the same time. It's fantastic. There's that. Oh my god, what a combo! The arrow into the entomb. That was beautiful. That was sexy as hell. Nicely done. Great combo on the side of pepeMLady as they perfectly execute this little trick as the opponent doesn't have level 10 abilities yet. This is how you exploit these advantages when you grab the heroic ability before your opponent has access to theirs. It's a huge power spike for you, and they just did a fantastic job. They YOLO'd the arrow out, and then Leo was there to follow up on it, and it was just really sweet. And now with 5 kills against 1, is getting just better and better for them. Also noteworthy that Auriel picked Aegis. Again, we talked a bit about the nerf to Resurrect. So doesn't mean that you can't still play it, but Aegis is of course now a much better option than it was previously. With Blizzard 2-3 patches ago heavily buffing Resurrect, it just meant that it was more or less the auto choice in most cases for those players. So once again, we currently have our little setup down here at the camp, and now with level 10 in their hands, Disgusting is thinking about starting an invade and maybe make a bit of an early Hail Mary move into this. I mean, if they can take the camp and get a kill, it would be great, but they're risking a lot here. Bunker has to be used to keep Blaze safe. There's not going to be a lot of trouble for them. Minion gets taken down too, so the Shaman camp gets still claimed, which actually at the end of the day means that Disgusting just lost a bit of time. Not great for them. But it's not going to be a project. Yeah, sorry, Anna, but you need a little bit of help. Anna is trying to take the camp solo. That can only take a couple of years, so they actually let this one slide, since the objective has already spawned and the red team has taken the position. Not a good sign right now for Disgusting. If they get the kill, though, that would be a different story. Here's the heal as Mal'Ganis moves in, but pepeMLady is now slightly ahead, but they need to get Anna into a good position here. Or at least Hanzo. Blue team all of a sudden in a decent spot, but keep in mind there is a fountain. They can pre-tap. The blue team doesn't have that luxury. So now as they're going in again, they are fully topped up once more. Leo is moving out. Doesn't die here just yet. 19 to 14 points on the objective. And the teams are both now moving in an attempt to claim the second one. And this is a problem for Disgusting, because the top keep, or the top fort, is actually being taken down by the Shaman camp. And they don't have any fort left in the mid lane either. So if they lose out on this one, it would be a disaster. Leo is about to fall, but the Calamity attempt by Lavakal on his Liming does not succeed. And now they're getting pushed back once again. Yeah, on the side, we already have Hanzo. Frozen Punisher gets taken. The kill against Liming. A follow-up on Blaze. And they're gonna get Mal'Ganis too. There's the Blessed Shield. They're trying to go for Ana. And that should honestly be another kill. A little bit of a late follow-up here by Dyla and Sesebos. But Go Rider's coming in from the side. That's the end of her. Yeah, there's a quick vault forward, and that's that. So they go for a keep. They 5-man wipe the opponent. The Punisher's in the middle, and Leo's trying to defend against it solo. But up to the top, they will open up that wall. They won't be able to take the keep down because we're only 9 minutes in, and those death timers are tiny. But this is a great setup now for the blue team, for the red team. So pepeMLady with 10 kills to 1. And a fantastic situation here. That is a little bit greedy, though. I mean, now they're really overdoing it. I have... yeah, I'm sorry. But that is way too greedy. There's the kill against... against the Blondies. Johanna and Jaina both down. So they at least trade a kill for a kill. But only because Leo moved in too. But just the audacity of going for the camp in the first place in this position is already quite something. So, level of disrespect in that spot. 11 kills against 2. Now we also have level 13 talents, of course. On the damage output, Hanzo and Vala looking pretty solid. But it's Li Ming with 23,000 that has the top position in the game. Also very, very decent siege damage here. But camps get now taken regardless. And all the way up to the top, we already have all of this taken as well. But yeah, a pretty interesting part here for sure. This game is now fully in the hands of the red team. But they have to be careful, because if they... The problem when you're this far ahead is you are very tempted to go into a lot of fights because you feel that you are much stronger than your opponent, which is actually true. I mean, you have a stats advantage, and oftentimes you also look at a talent advantage. The problem is if you just take every single battle that presents itself to you without making sure that you actually have a good position in there, then you might end up losing heroes, and your opponent gets for every single kill an underdog bonus and experience, which allows them to catch up quickly. Executed combos and coordinated attacks like this one, though, with a blessed shield and an Hanzo arrow being thrown out to set the kill up, that's a totally different story. So that was a really good setup to take down Mal'Ganis, and opens up another opportunity to drop the wall, this time at the bottom of the map, which is going to come in quite handy if they're able to take the next Punisher, which spawns bot side. There's definitely a chance for that. There was a 2-level lead in the hands, or 2-talent lead in the hands of pepeMLady as well. Now reduced to 1 talent here, since we have level 13 for the opponent. Wilkie has to be a bit careful here, but I think he's going to walk away from this easily. Seething Hatred on level 16 for Vala. Could have definitely gone into Frost Shot here now too, but wants to have a bit more of an oomph when it comes to those multi-shots. But level 16 talents alone are already such a big deal. And of course, with all of those walls opened up on the blue team side, now those shaman camps can in theory do a whole lot more damage later on. Situation is bad enough as it is, so we'll actually see. 2 kills against 12 right now. Yep, there's the announcement. 3-level lead still. And you have to put this in perspective again. With the 3-level lead, you're talking about a stats advantage that is absolutely nuts. So of course, the talent lead is the big advantage, a bigger one. But the stats advantage alone is pretty insane. It's honestly pretty sick. So there's a bit of a trap attempt, but I really don't think this is going to work out. Because pepeMLady has to play safe. That's all that they have to do. And I think that's what's going to happen here eventually. Leo moves in. I mean, he's more or less allowed to to face check. Even if he dies, it's not going to be an issue. But he can ghost away here. The rest of the team is already busying themselves on the shrine. Unfortunately for Jaina, everybody gets sucked out of that blizzard, or she would have been able to deliver at least a few points for the team. 15-2 now on the objective in favor of pepeMLady. Red team is looking fantastic here. Here comes the bunker just as the entomb comes down. Okay, Leo is dead, but they still have a big lead. And Leo will be back soon. And if they can just poke, Lavakal nearly dying. Great setup against Li Ming, but it is Blaze that dies first. Yep, setup is in again. Blessed Shield actually this time didn't really do what they were hoping for, but they're still getting the flank kill against Jaina as Vala moves in. The follow-up against Anna seals it. This is going to be another objective for them. And guys, Mal'Ganis is not going to make it either. Now, a bit of body blocking here. Condemn is already in, and he is getting dropped. And talking about dropping things, up to the top, the keep gets dropped too. So, as I said, the Shaman camp, much more dangerous now that we had those forts eliminated. And they can easily get a second keep now, moving down to the bottom of the map. Great game from pepeMLady. You gotta give them some credit here. They are playing a fantastic series right now. And doing exceptionally well in this case. And that's exactly what they need if they want to move up the ranks a little bit to establish a safe position within the standings of Division S. So this keep is definitely gone. The only question that remains is, can the red team actually end the game here, or will they fall back and wait for level 20 talents? As you can tell, it's 16 versus 16 talents, but the stats advantage is still in full force. There's the Punisher already with a jump, and that beast is still on 60% HP, and that core shield is falling quickly. 37,000 damage on Hanzo, 36,000 on Vala, and off we go. Yep, core is falling quickly, very quickly actually, down to 20. What a stun from the Punisher. Damn, it's party time, baby. And here comes the strafe, the kill against Li Ming, the follow-up against Jaina. Yeah, they're gonna drop it right here. This is gonna be it. In the meantime, the keep in the mid lane gets also destroyed, by the way. There's 2 catapults already on it, and also double camp. The kills against Blaze and Mal'Ganis end all questions about who's going to win the game. This is the victory for pepeMLady in game number 1. Infernal Shrines taken by them, and therefore the lead in the best of 5. GG, and well played. Game number 2! The best of 5 continues, ladies. And, well, pepeMLady just dominated. Really dominated. So, they had a fantastic setup for the first map. A lot of good wave clear through Leo, Johanna, Vala. And they just played this perfectly. They exploited the early advantage that they had with level 10. Forced a fight, got 2 kills out of it. And it was really nice to see them just coordinate every single attack the way that they did. So, with this, Dragonshire comes in as our second map, and first pick, first ban goes to Disgusting, which means that map choice was made by pepeMLady here. Heavy rotational map, where we can also now see more globals in play, so ETC with the stage dive is an option here. Dehaka, Falstad, still heroes that could be quite strong. But of course, one of the heroes that you want to ban out is, as you can see here, Rexa. Still the king of Dragonshire, because with Misha, you can hold the lane experience and also the shrine at the same time. And that makes him just incredibly difficult to beat on the top lane. And normally when you have Rexa in the game, top lane is lost to you, unless you have some heroes, some globals that can continuously put pressure onto him by ganking him. But outside of that, he wins the top lane without any problems whatsoever, because the opponent is either losing out on shrine control or on experience on the lane. So I think the Johanna ban at this point is honestly just a bit of a target ban against Wilq, trying to exploit his hero pool a little bit, or an attempt to do that, let's put it like that. He picks Johanna a lot, and she gets taken out. Also reduces wave clear slightly for pepeMLady. Deathwing gets still banned. There's the ETC pick, so options are Mosh Pit and Stage Dive, and depending on the setup on both sides, that extra global might come in handy for them. So definitely an option for them to get played now. Okay. Then again, there's Ana and Li Ming. I talked actually about Li Ming in the past a bit for Disgusting. So it's always a little bit weird to see the pick on Infernal Shrines. But I really like when Lavakal plays it for the team, because it feels that they are just generally speaking stronger with her. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of the reasons why pepeMLady actually picks her now is to also deny it on the other side. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to just deny some kind of niche pick that your opponent plays. That's what the bans are for. But if it's a really strong hero and you yourself have good players to use that, then by all means just like pick it away early and just limit their options slightly. So Malfurion gets picked together with Hanzo this time. That's an ETC power slide into a Malfurion route, so there's definitely a CC chain available now to Disgusting that they could use, especially if they add some more burst damage, which could for example be Jaina. We see a Zeratul ban instead now first. And nobody has taken any offlaners yet. So Blaze is still really good here. Leo can be played. Urel would also be a good pick on that map. We don't see the Space Goat that often, but this is a good map for her. And of course, there are other choices. I mean, we could still, for example, see that the Dehaka that I parented out earlier. Just having that global gives you a lot of value here as well. And let's see what they're going to go for, because I think at this point it's pretty clear that we're going to see our first offlaner for the top. Unless they're going to let that slide. Tanks also, with Garrosh banned, Johanna being banned out, and ETC taken. We have Mal'Ganis for Wilq. Okay. They are pretty much reversing the combo. Like, their first 3 picks are just a reversal of the combo that we saw for Disgusting on the last map. But here's our global. Falstad gets taken. And now we have a global in action. It's also an interesting interaction when ETC, for example, stage dives into a Falstad setup, because Falstad can actually gust the opponent away, and then ETC lands pretty much solo in the middle of the opponent's team and can get bursted down quickly. Ooh, Lunara, okay, and Chen for the top lane. I mean, Lunara gets picked a bit more in Europe now. I kind of feel that that alone as a statement is already overdoing it a bit, because it's not like she's picked frequently, but we have seen her hop into games occasionally now. So let's see if that is successful on the second map. Of pepeMLady walks away with a 2-0 lead in the best of 5. Last pick for them. We still need our offlaner. Falstad can start ganking the top lane, by the way. And it's Leo, the janitor, ready to clean out the trash again. Alrighty, so let's go. Game number 2. Disgusting is in the lead. pepeMLady is in the lead after they had a really good showing against Disgusting on map number 1. Dragonshire is our second map. Let's see who takes the victory here. Game on! Game number 2. Time to show what they're made of. Disgusting needs to start to take it back here. We have currently on the left side Satuas on Chen, Itrax on Lunara, Lavakal on Hanzo, Birch on ETC, and Rutek on Malfurion. On the right side of the map, the Will Queue with Mal'Ganis. We have Cesabos on Falstad, Richu on Leo, Dyla on Anna, and Goa Rider with Etherwalk on level 1, heading into Li Ming. Yep. Also, the Eye of the Tiger for Chen for the Panda action. And as it turns out, fealty onto death on the side of Leo. Yeah, it's always a little bit of a weird one when we actually see that outside of Tomb of the Spider Queen. At least that's what it feels to me personally. I mean, normally it's not really a talent that gets that much attention. Consume Vitality and Austin's Renewal are just a bit too strong. But if you have, for example, on Tomb of the Spider Queen, a lot of rotations going on, it can be a nice one. Helps you on the solo lane a little bit, but again, it's not really the traditional pick for the hero. But if there is one team outside of Crystal Gaming, who even played Probius now twice in Division S, that likes to sometimes go a little bit out of the box, and it's definitely pepeMLady. They like that Uther side lane style as well. Even though it has been, well, has been graced with limited success. It's probably the best way to phrase it. But I mean, we haven't seen it in this series yet either. But yeah, so for now, they are the ones with the global. Unless, of course, ETC picks stage draft later, as I pointed out during the draft. So now we're starting to actually head in for this. Bot lane, that's already where everybody starts to rotate straight towards the Siege Giants. We have that on the blue team and on the red team. Both of them want to get those camps in. And it's the 1 minute mark. I mean, again, this is if you're trying to get something for your own play. I really don't like to talk much about Storm League, because Storm League is just quick match with the draft these days after HGC was killed by Blizzard. It's nowhere near any competitive level anymore. But it doesn't matter if it's like the amateur leagues, if it's Storm League, if it's anything else. But if you want to play the game correctly, the rule of thumb is that once that the mercenary camps are spawning, you want to start going for mercenary camps. While at the same time, of course, still holding the experience on all 3 lanes. So usually 2 heroes start going for the camps. It's a little bit map dependent, but as I said, it's a rule of thumb thing. So there's a couple of maps where you try to delay it. Usually start with bruiser camps before you head into... with siege camps before you start into bruiser camps. But yeah, as a rule of thumb, that's probably the best piece of advice there. So with the camps now timed towards the top, you actually have a scenario in which the blue team can start pushing the wall a little bit, but they have now to deal with this defense here, which should be enough to stop them cold. There's already a double shrine control. Down to the bottom of the map, by the way. Talk about shrine control. Looks like we're going to see our first kill here. Bam! That's the kill right there. Damage over time, baby! All that poison. 1-0 in kills. Nicely done. And now that Cesabos is about to go down too, we're all of a sudden looking at a potential Dragonite. But Lunara, after getting 2 kills, might actually be on the receiving end of this one. Mal'Ganis comes in and gets the drop. Well played. Dyla, okay, gets another interrupt. Leo is trying to take the top, and yeah, he's gonna get this one. This is a bit surprising to me. I honestly don't really know why Satuas didn't take this. Because they would have gotten that Dragonite. If he would have just contested Leo at the top, They might have lost out on a bit of experience there, but I am pretty sure they would have gotten this Dragonite. The red team was already on the retreat in the middle. 2 heroes were down. Granted, with the low death timers, they come back a bit quicker, but everybody else was so pressured that they had a tough time here. So I think there was a serious shot to get the objective snuck in. But as it stands, with them now allowing the opponent to get at least one of those shrines, the other heroes come back and we have the rotations around now. And all of a sudden, the kills keep coming for pepeMLady. Yeah, they come back with a vengeance. They lost the initial 2 heroes, but now they've killed 3 in a row. And the situation is starting to change quickly. Bit of a lost opportunity for Disgusting, if you ask me. So now we have Charged Up and Static Shield, both taken. They are for a full Lightning Rod build for Falstad. Calamity is in, and again, as usual, we have the Splintered Spear on level 7 in Europe. Choke and Pollen is the NA variation of the build, but in Europe you will be hard-pressed to find a game where Splintered Spear is not the level 7 choice, and for good reason. Echo Paddle is already in, which means there's a very good realistic scenario for us to see also the stage dive later on. That could be a kill. Wow! Dragonite is taken, and guys, seriously, Li Ming might have fallen here, but first of all, they got the Dragonite, and second of all, Dyla with that Sleep Dart on ETC saved the bird. That would have been a kill against Falstad for sure, if not for that. So very well played by Anna. They sneak the Dragonite in, and with this, they now have a fantastic setup right here, where they can get a bit of damage, can also keep the Dragonite alive for as long as possible, and well, either take structures down or simply use the Dragon's Breath to take all of those minion waves down and allow the rest of the team to be a bit more aggressive. And of course it also takes the option away from the opponent to take this one. So yeah, nicely done. Good effort here by pepeMLady. They have the lead, but it's 3 kills against 3 now. Oh, good setup against Rutek there for a moment. The problem, of course, is that he was still able to lock down the roots here. So yeah, Lulnara comes in. I think you be careful with her. I mean, she's generally speaking, she has a nice damage output. It's just a hit point pool that is a huge problem for her. Besides that, level 10 abilities should actually drop into the hands of the players at roughly the same time. We have again, by the way, this Withering Flames on level 4. I'm still very much on the like, yeah, I'm not sure about this talent. But if you really are on Li Ming duty more or less, and one of the main reasons for Chen in those team fights is going to be the pressure against Li Ming herself and trying to shut down those potential kill chains with her reset, then that might be a decent option. Actually heading into Leap for them now as well, as we have both teams with level 10 abilities. And there it is, there's Stage Dive. As expected, 4 versus 5 at the bottom of the map, as Leo is still holding the top, which means that if this continues, the blue team will lose out some experience that they could possibly pick up. Unless ETC is willing to sacrifice his cooldown to jump to the top lane, which I kinda doubt a little bit. So yeah, Leo is rotating, and that's a problem. Blue team needs to do something here. You can't just simply let Leo take the lanes at the side and push with 5. So Chen is splitting off and is trying to get this done, but you can already tell that in experience the red team is now taking a lead slowly because of that rotational play that we're seeing here. So, yep. Lunara still with decent poke damage here. And off we go. And as I said previously, this is rank 5 in the standings against rank 6, so we're looking pretty much at the bottom of the standings right now with the 2 teams. So, yeah, 6 versus 7, sorry. Not rank 5. They would love to climb a little bit higher and claim rank 5 here to establish a safer position in the standings. But yeah, this is 6 and 7. And of course, we only have 7 teams left in Europe, since Go Next actually withdrew from the league. They, I think they disbanded, but I'm not 100% certain on it. But they definitely had problems getting the players together for the matches. A lot of them, because of work and other things, were always kind of late and delayed, and they had to play with subs. So then eventually they decided that they would drop out of the league, so we only have 7 teams remaining, which means that this is definitely a bottom battle that we have here in the league. Later on today, actually, we're going to get the top battle too. Fan Club versus Washed Up, but for now, the big battle is here in the middle, and it could cost another hero his life. If ETC doesn't get away here, then he could be the second one to fall after we just saw Malfurion get dropped. The wall gets attacked. At the top, Leo has escorted another camp in too. So that one's already on the way. And off we go. There's the channel, and that's a Dragonite. The Panda is just a little bit too late. Level 13 talents boost the power spike even more. Hanzo gets a bit of an ass kicking. And ETC gets the axe. Yep, Hanzo gets the boot, ETC gets the axe, and the keep gets now annihilated too, slowly but steadily. Or the fort, that is. The arrow gets YOLO'd out, but it seems like we could at least see the panda fall. Lulnara actually jumping in the attempt to get a kill against Falstad and make it at least a trade, but that didn't work out either. So now Lulnara is dead. We have 6 kills against 3, level 13 against level 12. And the Dragon Knight is rotating bot side in an attempt to get another fort out of this. Top fort has also nearly been destroyed. The Panda has been trying to hold on to that for as long as he possibly can. But now with Falstad moving in, we could even see this one getting dropped. This is a bad moment for Disgusting. They're definitely getting snowballed hard here. It's starting to become a huge issue. They're about to... Oh, ETC goes in. That is not a good moment, dude. Like, ETC, honestly, this could have backfired very quickly. Was apparently trying to fight something, but they were only here with 3 heroes, so that's a big risk that he just took there. I'm not really a fan of that choice. Didn't really cost him his life, but I think he could have. So now that everybody starts to go in for that Bruiser camp, we have even Falstad starting to rotate down to the bottom of the map, and yep, there we go. 26,000 for Li Ming, so she's top damage here again. 3 kills against 6 right now. No invade on this one. But the forts have pretty much all been taken out, except for the one at the top, and this one is so low that it's not going to take too long for pepeMLady to claim this. 2 camp is actually still on the map, so they're currently trying to claim this one. Falstad still has Wingman, is already using it, as you can see, so this is another camp that's going to push the bot lane for them, which either allows them to push with it, or to rotate, for example, topside, defend against the opponent's Bruiser camp, as Disgusting is now pushing the top lane a bit more aggressively, and then maybe even go for that fort. Yeah, nice attempt at setting that sleep dart up against ETC. Barely didn't connect. That would have been a fantastic setup for them, but now with 2 camps pushing through the bottom of the map, arrow is through. Nice attempt at a cleanse, but Gore Rider gets away. Gets Nano boosted as well. The fight is there, and Falstad is down. Chicken for dinner as Hanzo comes in and gets the kill. Well played. 4 kills against 6, so they get some momentum. ETC is trying to shut them down again. Bit low, but he might just have been able to lock Wilkie down long enough to grant them a kill. But with the ult still available, the main tank of pepeMLady can walk out of that situation without any additional harm to the team setup. Top lane, Leo, he already rotated top, so that puts him in a spot where he can at least defend most of it. The wall has still fallen, but he gets at least the claim on the shrine. With level 16 talents now in their hands, they have another power spike over the opponent that they could use now at any point. Diamond skin, actually, on Li Ming. Yeah, Gore Rider with an interesting setup here, I gotta say. So we don't see Mirror Ball on level 16, which is a traditional choice. And I mean, if we're mean, then we're saying, like, why do you need Mirror Ball when you don't hit your magic missiles anyways? But of course we're not mean, so we're not going to point that out. I also haven't really paid attention to his magic missiles to an extent where I could make that statement. But yeah, I couldn't resist. That's a potential kill, though. They try to go for the bird, and they nearly drop him. Lulnara gets isolated. The Entomb might have not been on point, but it still locked her down. And the nano boost on Li Ming allowed them to get the kill. So now we have Lulnara eliminated, and we could see even more, as they're starting to jump straight in with a bit more slow from Leo as he connects the sweep, but they're not able to get another kill in. Or are they? Chen falls, but Gore Rider is still on the run. And Gore Rider wants that keep. Oh, yeah. I'm not so sure about that move. But here we go. If someone explained this to me, apparently he assumed that Li Ming would try to move back, and she does, but not really at the pace that he intended. So Birch is just happy to jump around now. That cow has BSE, I can tell you that much. I mean, he is jumping around like there's no tomorrow, and to be fair, there might not be for them, because now with 10 kills against 4, pepeMLady is crushing through the mid lane in an attempt to take down the first keep of the game, and the snowball that they're starting here is turning into an avalanche as we speak. With this, it might even be the end of the game if they get another kill, and the ults are ready again. So we could see that nano boost on Li Ming, but they actually walk away from this one now. Okay. The dangerous part is that with 16 versus 16, where's Nara sitting on damage? She's currently on only 24,000. I honestly expected her to have a bit more damage than that. Not necessarily eclipsing Hanzo here, but 24k seems a bit low, considering that especially the early game she did some serious work. The dangerous part and the part that worries me the most is that ETC's stage dive is actually on a 5-second cooldown, which means that it's only going to take a second until we see another hoppity hop across the map. And no, I'm not talking Lunaro this time. Where it is? There it is! Yes! And it's a little bit predictable here, so they try to go for the kill, but that power slide did actually work. But ETC, he came, he saw, and he peed his pants. Veni, vidi, pee. So, all of them down. That's also the end of the Panda. 2 eliminated, and Rutek is also getting annihilated. Falstad is immediately flying towards the middle. I'm not quite sure if there's an attempt to get suicidal here. Yeah, kill for kill, maybe. And the bird is alive. Anna says, no problem, I got this, bro. And that's a 5-man wipe to close out game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The lead for pepeMLady in the best of 5 series here. Division S. Disgusting goes down in flames on Dragonshire and will have a tough time coming back into this series from this position. GG and well played. Core Rider with the Archon for the laser show, and that's the end of the second game. Battlefield of Eternity, game number 3, ladies, and I don't know what to say, but pepeMLady is walking away with this one pretty easily. So, disgusting. It's a little bit of a tough battle for them now to make that work. I honestly don't know what they can do to come back. Well, win a couple of games will probably do the trick, but they really seem to have a bit of an issue dealing with pepeMLady. The red team just comes in and hammers them into the ground once the mid game starts. So that's a bit of a problem. ETC gets banned on the map. I mean, again, we have Battlefield of Eternity, so immediately we have to ask ourselves what's happening, well, with Vala, so it's the first one. She's already getting banned. And the next question that I would have is also Greymane, what happens around him? Li Ming, for example, another great pick here. So there's still a few things for this. Also, Jimmy, of course. You can actually play Exterminator here now. Exterminator got heavily buffed, and we've seen it picked twice on this map. Once by the Vikings, once by Washed Up, both times successful. Does a huge amount of damage right now. It got boosted by, I think, 25% with and without Inspire. So, pretty crazy damage output on him now. So, all of a sudden, as weird as it sounds, Exterminator might be a good option. But either way, Ace in the Hole, of course, was incredibly buffed as well. So, that's another one. Okay, so what else do we have here? Deathwing not banned yet. And they're remedying that fact right away. Okay, so Deathwing gets banned too. And, well, what do we have as a first pick? Last few times, Washed Up picked Reyna instantly, every time. That's one of the reasons why I'm actually also looking forward to the series that we have later today between Washed Up and the fan club, because I want to see how heavily something like Reyna gets contested. The problem with the fan club and with Washed Up these days is actually that they're so far ahead of a lot of the teams that they go up against, not all, but most or a lot of them, that they can always pick some meme comms, or maybe not any meme com, but they can go for 1 or 2 picks that are a little bit more out of the box, where they try to experiment with something. And it's oftentimes a bit rough to judge, okay, or how would they react or play against a team where they are really on eye level, and that's what the series is going to give us then for sure. The pick into Garrosh and Li Ming could even trigger a ban on Zarya to avoid the speed bubble on level 4, getting comboed off with Garrosh. We have Li Ming for the continuous poke in the objective phase, and Greymane, as I pointed out earlier, is of course great for the damage. Karazim comes in, and we have Myrden himself. Myrden got changed a bit too, so now you oftentimes go more so into the Dwarf launch talents on level 1 and level 7. There's a new one for him on level 1, replacing his old block, and level 7 offers a bit more synergy and a bit of an oomph as well. So that's kind of nice. Theoretically, if you really only care about the Immortal, you can also go into... you can obviously also go into Sledgehammer. Zarya ban actually on the other side. I kind of like that. If anything, I would have expected Zarya to be banned out by Disgusting so that the Garrosh combo isn't available. But with the lineup that we now have for Disgusting, pepeMLady was like, maybe we should ban it as well. We don't want to pick it. If we leave it open, they might actually take it. So let's just get rid of it right away. Okay. Is Jimmy gonna make an appearance? Cassia! Okay. Okay, they're memeing. We need all the blinds. It's a quick match strategy. This is the usual quick match panic approach when you see that your opponent is having any kind of auto attacker. You have, I don't know, Illidan appear or some other auto attackers, and then the usual plastic player comes immediately in and is like, oh my god, we need blinds! Someone pick Lily! And in this case, they actually do it. They just figure, hey, we're 2-0 ahead, and we have been dominating so far. We might as well go for something a bit out of the box here. Game number 3 with a 2-0 lead is always a bit special. So, blinds it is. Lily and Cassia. And guys, again, the little caveat here, don't do this at home. This is not necessarily to be taken super serious here from them. I can guarantee you, if it comes to a 5th map on this, if Disgusting all of a sudden starts a reverse sweep, then on map 5, pepeMLady is not going to pick something like this. Despite the fact that there's Greymane and Kharazim on the other side. Doesn't really matter. And off we go. Artanis, of course. I was just waiting for it. More blinds and yeah. The meme train has arrived. Battlefield of Eternity. You can pretty much look at this as a fan service now. Let's head straight in. Game number 3 in the best of 5 series. Let's go. The memes are strong in game number 3. On the left side, Disgusting with Satuas on Sonya, Itrax on Greymane, Lavakal on Genji, Birch on Muradin, and Rutek on Kharazim. On the right side of the map, we have the meme dream. pepeMLady with the 2-0 lead have decided to meme it up a little bit and go full blinds. Unfortunately for them, they already committed to Garrosh at the beginning of the draft, so they couldn't pick Johanna as well. The Will Q on Garrosh, Richu on Liming, we have Dyla on Lily, Cesabos on Artanis, and Goa Ryder on Cassia. Every single time we have a situation like this, I'm a little bit torn, because on the one side, I think it's kind of funny, and it's also a bit of a fan service, so it's nice. At the same time, I really think it would be funny if Disgusting all of a sudden is like, okay guys, you know what? Let's actually try hard this a little bit and all of a sudden start a reverse sweep and are successfully pulling that off. Because if that's the case, pepeMLady would probably be really upset about this meme game that they're currently setting up here. Already they attack at the bottom of the map. But there's actually something that I feel we have to go over a bit, because it's a little bit of a misconception that a lot of people have. And while this is funny, I still want to stress this. A lot of people think that in Heroes of the Storm we have a lot of hard counters, of heroes that you pick to completely counteract your opponent, like a hero on the opponent's side. And the most, when we see this, is probably with blinds, when you have a strong auto attacker on your opponent's side and then someone just says like, we need blinds, we need Lily. That's a really memey setup here, by the way. And I really want to abuse people of that idea. It's not the case. This doesn't exist in Heroes. There is pretty much nothing in the sense where if you just pick one hero against a hero on the other side, this wins you the game or it gives you an incredible lead. There's a lot of people on the lower levels that think about like dozens of those examples where they feel like, oh my god, this is the exception, and believe me, 99.9% of the cases, it's just absolutely not true. You can definitely counteract a team composition with another team composition. That's a different matter though. But these hard counter ideas that a lot of people have from other MOBAs where they come into, it's not really the case in Heroes. And the problem is, if you, for example, in a real game on eye level, would spec this heavily into a blind composition just because you want to counter something like Greymane plus Kharazim on the other side, you would drop the opportunity costs that you have because you didn't pick into stronger heroes in those positions would ruin you. The reason why pepeMLady is doing this right now, and while I personally think they will also get away with it, is simply because there is definitely a gap between the two teams here today that they are currently ruthlessly exploiting, and because they figured, hey, even if we lose this, we're gonna have some fun with it, and then we can just always come back on game number 4 with a more appropriate lineup. So just as a bit of an idea, it doesn't mean that you can't play those heroes in quick match if you have fun with it, or if winning is not your highest priority. But get rid of that idea in your head that, hey, we have hard counter territory here, rock, paper, scissors style, where we can counteract an opponent's pick with a counter pick immediately. That's really not the case. But over here, we have the second kill now, so 2 kills against 1, as Genji comes in to deliver the final blow against Cassia. Nicely done by him. Towards the top side, we still have a bit of pressure, but Muradin is actually going already in more damage. With Reverberation as his talent, we have the Perfect Storm also in for him. And in comes the attack against the Immortal. Artanis, not gonna rant about him today. I think my opinion on the hero is, first of all, well, based on facts. Second of all, quite clear by now. We have amateur opponent for him, so he's actually one of the damage sources that they can rely upon on the Immortal race. It's actually kind of interesting that the blue team hasn't even gone for theirs, despite the fact that they run Greymane, Sonya, and Karazim here. So they're now on the defensive, which is kind of funny. There's the coordination against Gore Rider on the other hand. And in comes Genji as they're trying to push them a little bit more. Flip and Lavakal is in trouble. And Genji is down. He needed healing and he didn't get it. And was actually killed by the Panda. That is just adding insult to injury. So now that we have another flip, it seems... the flip into the Li Ming combo. Now, I don't think that was actually intentional, but it looked pretty awesome. If it was intentional, then big props to Richu for immediately following up on that Prism. That was nicely done. Now we have 3 kills against 2. And they are doing fantastic here. Okay. Top side, Gore Rider and Dyla are currently in that little spot. Level 7 versus level 6 right now. We have also Calamity in play. And let's have a little bit of a look of what they can do with this first objective. Because that Punisher has a lot of shields and they have a level 7 advantage. They're not going to have that for the entire time, but even at the beginning, it's giving you the edge. Especially with Li Ming and Calamity, of course. So they can break through that wall without any problem. The big question is, can they get the fort? And considering that they are still relying on shields on the Immortal, that should be an easy fort for them. There's already another flip attempt. This time Artanis gets shot down quickly. And actually gets away for now. They're trying to turn it now. But that fort is definitely dust. 5-man top lane. They 5-man this entire thing. Sonya therefore can get some value at the bottom of the map. But it seems like they are aiming for more than only the fort. The wall at the keep is the next target. Also, now Heavy Impact again was improved a little bit in the recent patch. We didn't get the block variation on level 1 by him, which obviously synergizes with that a little bit. But yeah, that wall is definitely gonna fall. Bam, tower is down. Genji looking for the kills here. And Sonya's coming in too. It's a flank, baby. And the Vilq is in trouble. The spear connects. Myrden jumps in, connects another Stormbolt. And that is the end of it. So down he goes. Alright, another flip right here. Yeah, the Sonya rotation was definitely something that caught them off guard a little bit. Now up to the top, 3 against 3 kills, and Myrden is just hopping around. Honestly, Birch on the last map was playing ETC, and he was just like, guys, this kind of sucks. This stupid stage dive thingy that you guys told me to take has a massive cooldown. I want to jump. I need something that can jump around a little bit more, and he gets it with Myrden, so he is just jumping all the time. Talking about all the time, we have the heroes also dying all the time. That's 3 down, that's 4 down, as everybody just gets murdered. Cassia gets a ton of damage through, and Li Ming got a few resets in the counter as well. Now we have level 10 abilities in their hands. It's 7 kills against 3, and obviously you need more blinds. We need to go straight for them. Their suppression pulse is in. We have the ball of lightning as well. 7 kills against 3. And with the 2-level lead at this point, there's an easy fort to be grabbed at the bottom of the map, which is exactly what they're doing right now. So, rotation with a 5-man down to the bottom. I mean, why wouldn't you? A bit of an attempt at a swap, but that one was a bit meh. Not really the best swap that he had so far today. Okay. With the objective coming up, this should be a massive lead. It is a massive lead for pepeMLady, please don't misunderstand. But on the objective alone, they should pretty much take this. If not with 100% shields, then at least with 80 or something. It depends a bit on what exactly Disgusting wants to do. If they want to counter pressure a bit or how they're going to play this. But here comes the attack. And yeah, this is the halftime show is going to fall within seconds. Stormbolt gets dodged out by the Vilq. Nicely done. Yeah, halftime show already won. Another swap attempt, and Artanis fails on that account. So, let's go. Let's see how much damage can be done on the left side here. Oh, they're not even trying to raise it. So, guys, they're losing everything. Yeah, the little dwarf is hopping again, and yeah, there's a quick flip. Saving Cassia, saving Private Ryan pretty much, but Artanis is down. Yeah, what else is new? So, Artanis dead, and they can still fight here. Still have the same power level, even with 4, because it's only Artanis that is down. And, well, that's going to be an objective for sure. Yeah, the turnout! Sonya says, boys, I got this. I don't really think so. So we at least have level 7 on both sides, but you can see that Sonya has now also leap, so she went straight in for that, for a bit of engage. Now that we have level 10 abilities, let's also take a bit of a look at the damage output as the objective is coming in. Cassia sitting on 29,000 so far, has done well. 19,000 for Greymane. Puts him at least on par with Li Ming. Karazim is the only one on the blue team side that hasn't actually died yet. So the only one. Okay. And, well, let's see. Sato's already in, and there we go. Oh, sorry, kill down here at the bottom as they're trying to flank in and attempting to get something done here. Alright, alright, alright. And off we go. Another kill, this time against Genji, so it's at least a 4 versus 4, and that Immortal is, of course, still murdering. We're 9 minutes into this game, by the way. Level 13 talents are nearly there for pepeMLady, and I think it's pretty much a no-brainer to assume that the keep is going to fall here, at least if the red team is focusing on it. But Meridian completes the quest. Li Ming actually down. Can they still hold that keep somehow? Is there a chance? If Itrax falls, then definitely not. But if he survives long enough to get some damage in, they might be able to hold this one. I guess Atanis alone could already try and work with the keep as well. But they're going for another kill, and they get it. Cassia's down too. And the Immortal, honestly, this thing might not fall. Immortal doesn't get it, and nobody on the red team side is actually focused on it at all. I would have at least assumed that Atanis is going to try and get the kill there, but he didn't. And therefore, they won't be able to take that. But they get the kill against Myrden. 7-sided strike, and they might even be able to take down Sonya now. Holy hell. Yeah, Sonya is dead too. Oh, holy shit. It was a 5 versus 3, and they're starting to absolutely crush through them. There's another flip. Atrax is down. They're going for Karazim. Another flip and another kill. Holy hell. 13 against 7. Still 2 levels ahead. And with level 13 talents, it just powered through it. And I guess the keep is going to fall after all. So, yes, there we go. Oh, God. That is actually that. Yep, that's going to be the keep. Keep down, and let's also take a bit of a look at the top lane, because that one has been pressured as well. Li Ming has transitioned over there, and the catapult is still firing, by the way. Nobody took care of that. Instead, they are running the kill down. There's the leap, and Li keeps them alive. Going for the jugs, baby. Keep at the bottom already down. Sonya is rushing away. 2 levels ahead. Objective spawning another 30. Genji is down. They're trying to go for another attack. And yeah, that is not a good sign for disgusting. You might have guessed it already. It seems like the trend from the first 2 maps is continuing in game number 3. The big aggression this time through the top would likely cost them another keep here if they would just fire away with Li Ming, but in this case they actually don't even go for that. Instead they are looking for more kills to be grabbed. They might have just found one. Top lane has still to be defended, and that alone might prove to be an impossibility. But they should be able to just barely save it. Yeah, 1 Li Ming combo though, and that thing is dead. So now with level 16 talents nearly taken, this is just getting worse and worse and worse. So yeah, there we go. pepeMLady memeing it up in game number 3 and still winning it. Today, just not disgusting's day. pepeMLady confident, and the confidence shows. The coordination is of course still there, no matter what kind of combo they play. Now with level 16 they have a big lead, and the blue team is just simply looking to get kills. Jumping in with Myrden, hitting the Stormbolt here, but the dwarf is in trouble. And there's a kill against him quickly. Sonya also locked down, leaps in, but it doesn't matter. She is dead, and so is Greymane. Greymane down, the resets are coming, and Rutek is about to, actually not about to fall, he's getting out there because Lavakal was distracting the opponent slightly. That flip doesn't work. Karazim has still been taken apart by Cassia, and as you can tell over here, the Immortal is now gonna get dropped, and that's 100% shields moving through that top lane. And yeah, that's this is the most dangerous thing that we've seen for the blue team throughout the entire game, the camp at the bottom of the map that might actually do some damage. Of course, the result of this series is not really in question anymore, because with 100% shield Immortal and no forts and keeps available anymore, this is a foregone conclusion as the Immortal moves topside, especially since Genji and Meridian get both wrecked, and holy hell, that's now kill 21, kill 22. Can't even keep up anymore. We're looking at 23 kills. Karazim is still alive somewhere. Question is for how long. Well, he's sitting up there. He wants to be the sole survivor at the end of the game, and I guess he can pull that off. But this is a 3-0 victory for pepeMLady. Nicely done. They definitely do what they can to move up in the standings here of Division S Europe. GG, and well played.